Rugby League live from Central Park, where Featherstone restart. Wigan leading by 8 points to 4, but both of those Wigan tries coming in the final 10 minutes of the first half, which tells you an awful lot about the way that those first 40 minutes went. Featherstone opened brightly, and certainly for the first quarter they carried the game strongly to Wigan, but here's an indication of the way the game was moving in the second quarter of the match. Wigan getting stronger and stronger and playing with more and more commitment. Ellery Hanley. Oh, do you think he saw the gap or not? What a great run. Just couldn't quite find Bell in support.
What a great
Wigan have
tackle
got it
by
back
Bibb.
with Myers.
Great tackle by Bibb to save the try, but now they've lost the ball.
Skerritt. Good to see Kelvin Skerritt looking so strong again. He had some asthmatic problems earlier in the season. Really punching his weight again. Andy Goodway held. Edwards. It's Bell on the burst. Held up by Burton. Tutar doing the necessary. Goulding. Edwards. Dennis Betts. Fifth tackle. Goulding again. Now, who wants that? Skerritt's there, knocked down rather hazardously by Smales. A drop out from beneath the post. Chris Bibb and company are under pressure right at the start of the second half.
What a well-placed kick this was by Goulding, with a great chase on it. Skerritt commits himself, puts a lot of pressure on. By gee, they were lucky to scramble their way out of that.
Myers. Good tackle low down by Gary Rose. Has done some good work in defence for Featherstone. Andy Platt. Platt and Skerritt are making 5 and 10 yards every time now. Edwards. Neatly on. Bell's got an overlap. Lydon was there. He's still there. Joe Lydon. Lydon and Pearson taking a dislike to each other. Touch judge Tony Brown had a front row view of that.
This just happens too often to Joe Lydon of late. He seems to be on the angry pills in the last couple of seasons. Quality player doesn't need to get involved in those sort of things, whatever it was.
Try the Mogadon, Joe. That's a bit of relief for Featherstone. Let's see how they control the ball here. Fox. Gratian. Fisher to Tutar. Very exciting, dramatic player, Brendan Tutar, New Zealand Test player. Fox. Smales. Little break by Fox. Here's Smales again. Again, he was so intent on offloading then. And a word out of place is going to cost Featherstone 10 yards. Sean Edwards stoking the boilers. Platt and Skerritt involved again. Goulding. Lovely step. Might go all the way himself. Bobby Goulding. Oh, it was a high tackle. It didn't prevent him from getting in, though. He'll have some bells ringing in his head, but he won't mind. Bobby Goulding stretches the Wigan lead. A try of individual brilliance.
this game has really speeded up, and Goulding read it right, hit the ball up, off the right foot. Again, Bibb has fended away with a right-hand fend by Goulding. Oh, how's that for a smack in the chops? Oh, my heavens. And 4 points might just solve his headache problem a little bit. But, oh, Chris Burt, but look at this. He read it perfectly, Goulding. Really pushed hard into the hole. Not as hard as that is, though. Oh.
Well, it's Bobby Goulding's second try of the season. He's just back from a 2-match suspension. He's lost the goal-kicking responsibilities to Steve Hampson. That's Wigan's first successful kick of the afternoon.
Well, certainly with Goulding's pretty happy with himself there, and I'm sure they'll be keen to get on with this again.
14-4.
I wonder why Phil Artis says, I wonder why Joe Lydon's not kicking goals today.
Andy Goodway. Just got a shot in the dressing room of Goodway strapping a huge sort of girdle around his midriff. He's got terrible back problems at the moment, Goodway. I think a lot of courage just to be out there in the middle. And suddenly the pitch seems to be sloping from left to right. Wigan are so much on top. Lydon certainly taking responsibility for the downtowns. Owen Simpson didn't know which shoulder that was coming over. He's such a strong kicker, Joe Lydon.
Got that technique perfected of getting the ball up very high. A lot of hang time there for his team to chase well. As the ball comes down, it tends to drift a lot, making it very awkward to catch.
Smales. Ikram Butt. Smales. Lost it again. Almost wanton misuse of the ball by Featherstone at times. Edwards. Betts. Burton was going high again there.
Yeah.
Platt. Skerritt. Ball just went forward in the referee's opinion.
Oh, the referee's right too. What a beautiful piece of skill play by Andy Platt to hit up as if he's going to hit hard through the line and then unload the ball in front of the line.
Substitute is Tim Sharp. It's Andy Fisher who's going to come off. He's just been transfer listed this week by Featherstone. He's desperate for first-team football. Fisher replaced.
Sharp to 6. Smiles into the second row.
Tutar. Clark.
Wigan have got their defence together, but have a look at that for a missed tackle count on Featherstone. It's just the fact that this team tires badly. Got some great attacking skills, but just played badly defensively.
Smales unable to hang on that time.
Unfortunately, that's the carryover. When you start to lose confidence in one area of your game, it generally carries into other areas as well. Now we're starting to see their attack fall to bits as well.
Iro. Well tackled low down. Tim Sharp and Ikram Butt. Platt. Hanley. Bell. Gathered almost like an outfielder there by David Myers. Quickly to his feet, though. Platt. Skerrit. Betts. Gary Rose has been involved in so much of Featherstone's best defensive work, the number 11. It's the fifth tackle. Goulding. Snatched out of his hands by Ian Smales. Gratian quickly on to Fox. Now they've got a man over here, Ikram Butt. Owen Simpson's got a bit of pace, but the Wigan defence slid across quickly, and Andy Goodway made a good tackle. Here's Tim Sharp. Fox. Nice ball to Tutar. On by Manning. And well gathered too by Martin Pearson. Kept alive for Chris Bibb. That's good Featherstone attacking play. Manning.
Great marker play from Lydon.
Sharp. Fox. Support from Bibb. Ball went to ground and went forward. Tim Sharp unable to benefit. A little bit of perkiness back in their stride, Featherstone. But it's soul destroying to come this far down the field without going home with some points, and Wigan almost certainly will get possession back from the scrum. Better still, they've got a penalty for a scrum infringement. Featherstone haven't beaten Wigan for 6 years now, although it was a close run thing over at Post Office Road last March. And they had 2 tight games the season before. The fact remains that no Featherstone side has won here at Central Park since 1965. Andy Goodway. Very good players have worn those blue and white hoops since 1965 too. Dermot. Goulding's kick. The Wigan are now just moving Featherstone around and up and down this field as they wish. Far more control about them. Goulding and Edwards starting to take control at half-back. And they've still got David Marshall and Ian Gildart to come if necessary. Got an awful lot of Ellery Hanley to come in on this performance. He's been on the fringes of the game. It's nice when that can happen, isn't it? Don't need to be on the fringe of the game at Ellen Road next Saturday somehow. Derek Fox. Jeff Gratian. Fox. Smales. Sharp held. Fifth tackle. Fox again. Now Steve Hampson. He's as brave as a lion. Brave as a turtle, I think they say these days, don't they? Rough stuff on the inside there, but nothing that Dean Bell couldn't handle. Edwards. quite been himself this season, Shaun Edwards. John Boney was a lot happier with his performance at Hull Kingston Rovers on Tuesday, and he's becoming more and more of a factor in the game now. But Wigan are just going forward, forward, forward.
These Featherstone players are going backward, backward, backward. I think I'd like to get a machine on the pulse rate on some of these guys from Featherstone at the moment. They're digging deep. They're going to have to dig really deep here to get themselves out of their own quarter.
A rest for Andy Platt and for Joe Lydon. David Marshall and Ian Gildart, some fresh legs for Wigan, as if they needed them. Well, you don't get many strikes against the head. Andy Platt will be doing his work again next Saturday. He was Britain's top tackler in the second test. And Joe Lydon, who's been a little under the weather this week, had a touch of flu and a couple of injury problems too. He's made his claim for next Saturday too. Brendan Tutar revels in the nickname the baby-faced assassin. Tutar, as the baby-face, the assassin's work was done on Wally Lewis in the Test series down in New Zealand last year when he marked Lewis in the first game in Christchurch. Featherstone hooker Trevor Clark penalised. Here they come again. Skerritt. He just can't get enough of the ball at the moment, Calvin Skerritt.
The best game I've ever seen him play. Now he does that. No, Mr. Kershaw says it was illegal. He's really hit the ball up hard today, Skerritt. It won't surprise me if he rips right through for a try himself here shortly.
Wigan have a perfect base camp for another Skerritt charge. Here it comes. That time Skerritt was penalised, leading with the elbow a bit, in the opinion of the referee. He's a bit mystified. Signed a 3-year contract with Wigan last summer, and part of the deal was that he wouldn't play any club football in Australia during that spell. He had a rather unhappy time there the season before last. Here's Tutar. Tutar actually played with Hanley and Skerritt in a Western Suburbs team, Gary Schofield. It was a long time since the man in possession, Ian Smales, gave Featherstone the lead after just 9 minutes. Since then, we're going to run back 3 tries and really have a measure of control of this game now. Leading by 14 points to 4. We've had just over 18 minutes of the second half. Credit to Featherstone, they haven't caved in, but they haven't really looked like coming up with anything to retrieve the match. Hanson gathered that well. Ian Smales has done some good work for Featherstone. He and Gary Rose have really put in some industry in the Rovers' cause. 41 tackles Rose has made so far for Featherstone, easily the top tackler in the game. He's the Featherstone number 11.
Actually, I think that's quite a sad statistic. When one player tends to dominate the tackle count like that, it means that a lot of other players haven't done their work, and eventually it's got to take its toll. Doesn't seem to be with Rose going in over the top there again. He seems ready to go the full distance.
Hanley, Betts. Good way. Not a lazy swing at that, but it got the job done. He spent the summer in Australia as John Boney's guest, Andy Goodway. He's got a bit of a reputation as a bad boy in previous Wigan regimes, but he's got a great enthusiasm for the game. He went over there and watched a lot of club football in Sydney and really continuing his education in the game. Last season was voted the First Division's Player of the Year. Can't be too much wrong with him. Owen Simpson. This live match from Central Park, entering the final quarter, with Wigan leading by 14 points to 4. Derek Fox, Brendan Tutar. Manning. Oh, if he meant that, I was quite inspired if he did. Didn't quite get away with it. He's another one who's plugging away. There are half a dozen Featherstone side who are really carrying the game to Wigan, doing everything in their powers to provide a platform for a comeback. There's not quite enough spark or talent around them to really give you any idea that they're going to pull back this 10-point deficit. Featherstone started the match so well, and I wonder, Peter Fox, the coach, watching from the touchline, why you've been unable to carry on that tremendous initiative you took in the first 20 minutes.
Well, for half an hour in front, we were on top and everything was going well. I told the lads at lunchtime, I said the game will go like that. If it's tight, they'll be wondering why the crowd aren't cheering and shouting that Wigan aren't runners out of the field like they expected, and therefore start just giving them a penalty to ease the pressure. That's what he did. They scored a couple of tries, got in front, but our lads have stuck to the task well, but we're just not getting enough of the ball. They're getting penalties and plenty of ball and possession, and the referees give several penalties in the second half, and therefore we're just not getting enough of the ball to make ourselves pay.
Well, you can be sure a Peter Fox side will keep plugging away in the hope of something might happen. They've got a lot to do. Here's Ian Gildart. We can have good position again. Edwards. Hanley. Chance for Ellery Hanley. You don't stop the best player in the world from that range. Oh, that was easy peasy for him. Ellery Hanley's 4th try of the season stretches the Wigan lead, and he's hardly been in the game, at the truth told, Brian.
Yeah, he was in it here, though. It was a lovely pass from Edwards. Drew the defence in well. Hanley still driving hard to get there. See a good shot of it here from the back. How Edwards draws in that defender, Burton. Edwards, really nicely timed pass. Hanley all the way. Gee, he pushed hard. I don't know about the result of penalties. I know it's the result of a lot of errors on the behalf of Featherstone.
What an athlete he is. He can actually lift more than his own body weight, and he's no lightweight. He's a remarkable human specimen. I dare say any sport that he would have turned his hand to, he would have been a success at, and he's been the ultimate success in this sport, and the game's richer for him. So Steve Hampson attempting to improve the Hanley try. The strong arm of the Lord is keeping an eye on things. And they haven't got to keep too much of an eye on that as it drifts wide. Hanley's try. And it's given Wigan an 18 points to 4 lead.
You see here that the Featherstone defenders on the outside don't come up like they should. Burton's not sure which attacker to take, and in the end he finishes up with nothing. What a
18-4 then. Ellery Hanley, of course, was brought into professional rugby league by the Featherstone coach Peter Fox. We're together at Bradford Northern. In fact, I recall a Challenge Cup semi-final when Featherstone put Bradford out in '83 at Headingley, when Hanley and indeed Jeff Gratian were on the losing side that day. I think Hanley's going to be on the losing side today. 18-4 is the Wigan lead. Goulding, Hanley, Dean Bell. Hanley's there. Cal might not need anybody. He's got Owen Simpson for company, though. David Myers. Oops. I don't know who tackled who there. Myers gathering it back in. Walk in for Kevin Arrow, forward, though. Won't count. Kevin Arrow denied. David Myers has been a real bundle of energy this afternoon. Wigan number 2 almost carved something out of nothing for himself there, and he ran into Jeff Gratian, and then he got a little kick and a little bounce off Ikram Butt, and he was almost in on his own. Tim Sharp. Come into my arms.
Been buttered.
Here's Gary Rose. He'll sleep well tonight. Thank goodness he's done some work. Jeff Gratian. Fifth tackle. Cox keeping Hampson in the game. He's always looking there for somebody, Steve Hampson.
I think he was just toying with Pete there.
Here's Ian Gildart. Tutar. Aish. Dermot, well counted though by Trevor Clark and Ian Smales. Gratian. 3 years ago his career looked over. He had a fearful leg injury. He's got a big steel pin supporting one of those 41-year-old legs, Jeff Gratian. Simpson. 18-4 the Wigan lead. There's 12 minutes remaining. 12 minutes for Betts and company to find a little bit more. Building. Hanley. Hampson. Bell. Skerritt. Good stuff, good work. Wigan certainly have the cushion now to throw it about and enjoy themselves a little bit. Help us enjoy ourselves in the process. Hanley. A tremendous break. Calvin Skerritt. There's a winger behind you. Myers. Dermot. Ooh, he really deserves a try today too, Martin Dermot. Myers. Goulding. Back down. Skerritt jumped on it. No try.
Little chip kick there. Oh, he's within inches of... If he'd held on to it, he was already over the line. Skerritt thought he'd claim it, but it was already a knock-on.
Knock-on was the first offence. There were 1 and 2 in there.
This seems to be the flavour of the day for the referee, Mr. Kershaw. Get your feet back, hookers, or I'll penalise you.
How dare the offending hooker strike for a ball in the scrum?
There's the story of a match. That's an enormous statistic for Wigan and a really disciplined display. But 18 by Featherstone is just disaster against a team of this quality.
approaching the last 10 minutes of the match. Good break by Derek Fox. He's crept under the tackle there. He's got Manning up with him. He's run through Hampson. He's still going. Tutar. Fox. On by Sharp. Gratian. Now they've got a man over here. Bibb. Pearson. David Marshall doing his job. Chris Bibb. 5 tackles have gone by again, though. Fox. Clark arriving. Not in time to beat Dean Bell to the ball. Skerritt. Wigan had actually lost as many games as they'd won this season prior to today. It's an extraordinary statistic for them. But only 2 of their 5 defeats today to championship defeats. And on the whole, their playing record so far stands in comparison with that at the same stage of last season. And of course, they ran out the champion team. Edwards. 5 tackles. Hampson. It's easy for Chris Bibb. Well, hardly had to move to gather it. Here's Ikram Butt. Fox. Gratian. Got checked by Iro. Tim Sharp. No support. Steve Hampson anticipated the kick. It was kicked sharp. 5th tackle. Fox. An awful lot of red and white shirts to get by. We're going to catch up with that, although Featherstone at least have prevented Goodway from getting out of his dead ball area. There's the man of the match, Kelvin Skerritt. Tremendous workload. He's playing with a real passion and a drive today. It's been Great Britain, Kelvin Skerritt, for Wigan today.
I feel a little bit sorry for Featherstone. In fact, I feel sorry for a lot of their fans. It's a real hotbed of rugby league at Featherstone. For them to be in the position they're in, and a number of the players who put in so much effort week after week, it's just a shame that they keep on finishing like this.
Yes, I was over there last weekend. It's a remarkable rugby town. In fact, it's little more than a pit village, really, a population of just 14,000. Yet Rovers crowds average over 4,000 in an area where Castleford and Wakefield also exert a strong pull. Derek Fox. Here's Smales. Both summer tourists. It's amazing to think that a small town club should produce 3 Great Britain tourists last summer. More than the likes of Hull or Warrington or St Helens. It's not long ago that Graham Stedman and Carl Harrison were Featherstone players too. 5th tackle. Fisher tackle. It'll be a handover and a Wigan ball.
There's some questions asked as well, Clive, following on that point, with 5 or 6 internationals still in their club. They continue to struggle against relegation.
Quite disciplined on the 5-metre rule today.
I think the ironic cheer might have summed up that comment of yours, Clive.
Just over 5 minutes remaining. Wigan leading by 18 points to 4. Certainly haven't developed into the landslide that we might have anticipated at half-time. Kelvin Skerritt. Just buoyed by that man of the match announcement. Dermot. Goulding. Hanley. He was just looking round to pass the ball and Derek Fox had stolen it from him.
He's a smart player, and he's a really smart player, is Derek Fox.
Thief in the night. Fisher. Manning. Clark. Well tackled. A determined play by Ikram Butt. Manning. Rose. Fox. Sharp. Smells well met there by Dennis Betts. Good tackle. Derek Fox. Fisher in pursuit. Edwards back there. Gary Rose really has put in an amazing stint in the Featherstone cause today. He's just 3 short of his 50. I think he might get opportunity to make those last 3 tackles in the last 3 minutes of the game. 16 tries, but he hasn't been able to make a single break.
He's entitled not to be able to. If he's used up that much steam making that many tackles, that's an amazing effort from a totally committed player. The other amazing effort is that a man like Jeff Gratian, 41 years of age, can get through 80 minutes of anything. I'm only 36 and I know where I'd be gone after 10 minutes.
There he is, the big number 8.
Make that 5.
Oh, good push by Wigan. David Marshall. Got Hanley at his shoulder. Tutar around his legs.
Yeah, and he's done some enormous amount of work, Tutar, as well in the second half. Some really important tackles and a lot of them.
Now they've got about 14-man overlap here. Dean Bell. David Myers trying to make something of it. Kick through, and where did these two come from? Now watch them fight each other. Oh, who tries that? It's Hanley or Myers. I think Ellery's going to have that. Your time will come, son. That's my try. But Hanley and Edwards were virtually handing each other off there. Second try for the great man.
Where this starts on the left-hand touchline, as you called it, Clive, a massive overlap here on the right-hand side. Quick hands. Hampson all the way here to Bell, who puts the hammer down. Simpson's in that position no one ever wants to be in, with 3 or 4 coming at him. A lovely, well-placed kick by Bell. Now, Bibb had plenty to say here about this after the try's been scored. I think if anyone had anything to say, it should have been Sean Edwards, because Bibb pulled him off the ball.
Yeah, he was on Hanley's side. I just wonder if Ellery was ahead of Edwards when he sort of kicked it through. No, it doesn't matter. 22-4. Steve Hampson it is. It's been one of the great kicking days at Central Park. That's Wigan's second success of the afternoon. Rather ironic cheers for that too. 24-4 is their lead. Ellery Hanley enjoying himself to the tune of 2 tries this afternoon.
5 tries to 1, and here's the probably the best or the longest distance of those this afternoon. Hacked on by Marshall there. Did Hanley get to this? Yes, it was Hanley first.
Yes, Marshall just congratulating him.
They're a close team.
Dennis Betts. 24-4 is the final score. Those two tries by Ellery Hanley in the final 20 minutes, just easing Wigan clear of Peter Fox's Featherstone, who started the match so brightly and actually led right up until the half-hour mark through Ian Smales' early try. But the key period in the game was probably the 10 minutes prior to half-time, when Sean Edwards and Joe Lydon eventually made the most of Wigan's pressure with the tries which edged them in front and set the stage for first Bobby Goulding and then Ellery Hanley with his two tries to stretch Wigan's lead to the sort of figures that their overall dominance deserved on the whole. Wigan, 3 wins in a row, are moving up the First Division table. That takes them into 4th place tonight, and Brian Smith won't need reminding that although his whole side are on top, Wigan are now just 3 points behind them. So November may have been the month when we've seen the start of another Wigan Championship push. We've seen them approaching their best at times this afternoon and beating Featherstone Rovers by 24 points to 4. We'll have the verdict next on Rugby League Live.